banning the opponent's Magneto as well. So if you want to play Luna Frost on the side of XOXO, you gotta be careful of the Meteor M. That's to say the least.
Yeah, nothing too weird here. We've seen Adeline on both Emma Frost as well as the Magneto, so good to say that they have both kind of under their belt from that perspective. The Mantis ban, the Cloak and Dagger ban. Okay, once again, nothing true to form. I mean, it is true to form. Asia likes their strategist bans from that perspective. The lock-in onto the Ultron is important though.
Yeah, High Vision definitely loves Ultron as well, right? So that's probably going to be what he's going to be playing. Not to mention, Alone Feels on the Iron Man can definitely add to the prowess of having an Ultron on this battlefield, the skies, right? So here, they could definitely aim for a Psylocke if they want to. It's not being banned. It's definitely on the tables. But as expected, it's going to be the Iron Man Ultron tandem. High Vision and Alone Feels will be taking to the skies. Sung Jak-woo, let's see if that's going to be a cheeky Venom or actually a Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I would love to see a Spider-Man though.
The fact that XB didn't ban out Spider-Man, I'm always worried about that, right? We've seen some joke. There's been clips about your friendly neighborhood web swing hero just wandering the streets free and easy, getting all these pulls, and so we move here into the domination. Bryn and T'Challa to be able to make their first stand on this first point between XOXO and XBE. We have the obvious winners. The real question is XBE going to be able to find their way up and find some sort of success here towards the end of this group stage?
Yeah, definitely excited to see what's gonna be online. And speaking of who's coming online, Profound Rise from OCE as well. Give her some love, guys. Show her some love. Attack her. And of course, Liger, thank you for being here as well. And the whole party is here. Let's get it started. Penny Parker is going to be featured, but unfortunately, it's just a teaser. It's just a teaser, guys. No Penny Parker cited so far. No one's gonna be playing it. But honestly, we gotta quote Blaze on it. The team that plays Penny, they gotta get a win. They gotta get a win somehow.
That's the hope as we open the portals up with the top-down AC-130 action. There's so much shields being destroyed, but somehow they're able to get away with it. Nope, Demise will drop by the side of Alone Flips, who takes to the skies and applies pressure onto this BelikeXBE. Suddenly, they're looking like a bit of a shambles as Hypervision just dancing around this area. Gonna be able to find KO Beans taken out of action as well, and BelikeXBE are starting to crumble.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta expect this from XOXO. They play dive, yes, but they're also very strong with the Ultron and Iron Man tandem. XOXO has definitely learned from their past experience in MRC, just heavily relying on heavy dive comps, right? But now they're just playing very, very solid compositions when needed as well. So the burst, where there's a double Vanguard in the front with shields, and then very standard one Iron Man tandem as the duelist. Secondary damage dealer, which is the Ultron, that's coming into play, and they have plenty of heals coming in from the two strategies as well. So for the side of XBE, Beans probably needs to make something happen. The kidnap needs to happen. But hello, Fields! Pulse Cannon! Oh my god, taking out two of them! That's a double elimination on the side of XOXO. But Fish is gonna revive Demise.
Yeah, the Cosmic Yard coming in. Now BRB doing so much work, and the pressure from Hypervision. The team up with Iron Man is so strong. Those nano rays will be able to shut down Beans, who can't find any space, and Elixir's gonna have to tail tuck and bring the rest of their team back into safety of their spawn and find a different plan to push these Flyers back.
Yeah, I mean, this Flyers is definitely very annoying, but with 4 check marks on both sides of the faction, right? They have the ultimates ready. They're just waiting. Oh, the choke slam just tangling. Zeta just trying to cancel off any attempts to push forward. But now the final judgment by Kale is definitely going to try and shatter the front lines. The Eye of Apodo coming in. Ground control coming in. There is BDRM. Just gonna hit no one, unfortunately. Elixir missing it. Fate of both worlds just to try and sustain and push the ground forward. This is gonna happen again. Oh my god! Oh my god! Poor Demise is gonna meet her demise at the hands of the Pulse Cannon right there. But the action has not stopped. Adeline taking the fight back to Redzer, Elixir as well, taking out Sung Juk Woo. So XOXO slowly crumbling, Multitudes.
Yeah, they're at least XB are able to at least claim their point just a little bit and gets a little bit of stagger, which will buy them just a little bit of time. But I gotta talk about Lone Fliz, right? The fact that they were able to, within that team fight, pop off 2 plasma cannons to boot and make some immense play. Not for the fact that, you know, there was a bit of a trade there, plus the BRB was able to bring back Demise and hop XBE back into the heat of things was so important. Now the turret trying to be dealt with this long distance, no fall of damage from the side of Ultron. We'll be able to get their rage online at the very least, and as Athena just around this corner gonna be hopefully making an entrance with a great psionic seduction to catch everyone off guard. The Beans coming in with a great slice and dice, gonna be able to shut down Song Ju-woo, Vanguard out of action, and now tucked away, gonna be able to regroup with the rest of their team.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Sung Juk Woo. I have no idea what Sung Juk Woo is doing on the Vanguard's role. But right now, final judgment by Kel, trying to shatter the front lines, and they are going to take out Zeta, trying to take out even further more people. But unfortunately, they are hidden behind the covers of the terrain. And right now, XOXO, they are 95% on point, but XBE slowly crawling their backs up. Sung Juk Woo with a portal. They gotta do this right. They gotta time this right because they can only have this portal once. So right now, Pulse Cannon!
Oh!
The cheeky play coming in. But it's gonna take
You
out
have to
only
be
one.
ready for these, and you honestly can't because you don't even know where, you know, this Iron Man will be coming out with the portal as well, hunting for Fish, who has to dive and ditch themselves out of action. Elixir doing their best as the solo hold on this side, but looks like XOXO are gonna be able to sweep things off with brilliant plays surrounding a Lone Fliz and an Iron Man to boot. Couldn't even get a teleport off. The body blocks come out so strong. It is the forethought from the side of XOXO that will claim them this particular point.
Yeah, Jarvis clipped that for real, man. The idea was there, right? Who'd have thought they tried this play in this competitive setting, right? And if that actually nailed 3 or 4 more eliminations, that would have been even better. But the fact that they even tried it and got someone off the bat, that was absolutely bonkers and alone feels. I did not expect them to do that, Multitudes.
I didn't
came
either.
out,
I didn't. It was I was like they don't have a Punisher. What's going on? And I saw that, you know, the shields coming out just to protect the Lone Fliz on the Iron Man. I mean, it's to boot. And also you said something really quick as well. It's a very interesting look from the side of XOXO. You're hopping players on that I wouldn't necessarily like think about. You know, you've got basically a Lone Fliz on a solo duelist, and Sungjuk on basically a Vanguard hold. Has been doing decent work on the strange. Okay, I want to pause everything. What is this crosshair? What, chat?
this crosshair.
What is this crosshair? Diabolical. Instant ban. What the?
The green dot, that's what it has. Anything that helps him get more kills, right? But ultimately, they are going to be in the middle of a crossfire. This position is really, really important, which is why they should get to this position really early. But look at Fish clicking alone fills, and that's going to be 5v6. 3 ultimates on the side of XBE, probably going to just wait until the rotation comes in. Just waiting, both sides just eagerly waiting to see who's going to make the first move. But the invisible boundary coming in, fate of both worlds, and the meteor amp probably trying to take out the Luna Snow if needed. But right now, no one has met the demise yet. Only Fish was the casualty. But High Vision gonna be kidnapped by the Wolverine, the low gang, and the last stand coming in. Oh my goodness, Adeline is gonna be captured by Zeta. The chokeslam, the double kill, psionic seduction is ready to be used, but fate of both worlds gonna keep everyone alive on the side. Oh, the obs is gonna pause, and I felt like, what just happened?
Tactical pause in the middle of the point. The point. Oh, mind you, Nello, the point had not even been captured. Right? XB looked like they were about to. Xena stepped in to block off the final like sliver of them capping the point, and now at the moment it looks like XO is starting to get it back, and tactical pause in play. So far, it has been a bit of a struggle. Well, it's a bit of a back and forth. It's still very early to tell, but XOXO, at least if you look at that first point, look like they're well in control.
Yeah, probably someone DC'd or something. But nonetheless, we will be hanging out with you guys, just giving you guys shout outs as well. Just hang out, chilling. And of course, I definitely need my therapy bear because that game was so intense. I was like, my God. Yeah, I was hugging it the entire time. But right now, just looking at the points itself, it seems like XOXO was in the position to get that point.
Yeah.
Um, and right now, it seems like the tandem, which is Beans on the Wolverine, just trying to kidnap. It kind of worked in a sense, right? Multitude.
Did.
It definitely caught someone, just not the Vanguard, just not
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Vanguard.
I mean, getting the Ultron out of the way was really important because they were holding back the site as well. But I also want to call out Fish, right, who swapped out the Mantis. Once again, we've seen disgusting plays from Mantis today with just W keying their way through, being as aggressive as possible, which is like I am astounded. I need to take notes as an in-house strategist main, but we're seeing some of that come out from Fish as well. And the more important thing is if you don't have Mantis banned out, you can really throw those damage orbs onto your fellow players like Beans, right? Your duelist to be able to make quicker plays and quicker plays on your opponents.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it as well, it just makes me want to play some Marvel Rivals now, right? It's very contagious, right? It's very contagious.
Asian versus OC caster show match.
Ooh, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
Yo, I see. Okay, wait, no, we're back in. Let's go back in right now as the point is still being contested. I think it's gonna be given up towards the side of XBE, and Hypervision is gonna let that one go. Though they have the ultimate to boot, so wanting to make sure that they don't get caught off guard is most important.
Yeah, exactly. And just to finish the thought, obviously the one who plays Penny is gonna win, right? But right now, the portal's gonna be executed by Zeta, and oh my God, let's see if that's gonna happen. Another pulse cannon. Let's go! But the shield was ready for it. They knew it. They knew it was coming. They said, "You cheeky guy! Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you." But right now, sorry, I think I got that quote wrong. But you know what I mean. Alone Feels still dealing damage even without the execution of the pulse cannon. But right now, XBE has half of the team fallen. Zeta taking out another 2 members of XBE, taking control of the point.
And Alone Feels, can I just say, is already 50% to their ultimate as well. So it's going to be so gross from their perspective if they can find more picks and pop themselves another plasma cannon, to say the least, as Zeta is trying to take the bulk of it. Songjo-woo back on the Venom, maybe perhaps trying to disrupt that backline. That might be the key here because XP has been playing very close, very tight-knit games. And that's exactly what you might need here is Fish taken out immediately. Ooh. And suddenly it crumbles. It's going to be the answer on to Venom. 5v5 could be possible, but a hard reset is called from XB. They don't want any more players to be lost.
Yeah, Alone Feels building up the ultimate charge so fast. Faster than my Jeff. But anyway, just coming back into the game, 3 ultimates ready to be used at the disposal of XOXO. But right now, XBE with the Eye of Agamotto coming in. The shield's gonna negate that a little bit more. Ace with the invisible boundary, trying to keep it. But now you can hear the coming in, but the Meteor M trying to negate that. High Vision's gonna take it. The battle, the fate of both worlds is gonna be employed just to keep holding on, sustain the teammates on the battleground. But it seems like XBE, they might be able to fight and push XOXO back.
Wait, so XP are still trying to... They haven't capped the point just yet. They're still being denied by Songjo-woo, who's being an absolute nuisance. Will dive this backline. Great freeze from the side of Demise. And the kidnap, the final stat onto Alone Flitz. But Xena will get the upper hand against Bean nonetheless. Feast of the Abyss will come out strong, getting all this extra attention. The fate of both worlds going high in the sky, but it's gonna be the goddess of death, raining death from high above. Shields has to be employed to be able to sustain just by their neck here. Adeline fighting for their lives.
Yeah, XOXO probably should back off a little bit, but Sang-jak-woo says no. No one's backing off today. No siree. Alone Feels taking out the double hit, double elims, and now the pulse cannon. Oh my God, the kidnap happened, but it doesn't matter because the Luna took out Beans. And now with Alone Feels taking back the controls, just pushing them back off, fortunately. just trying to get out of line of fire, but taking out Demise. The meteor M is gonna connect onto the poor Luna Snow, but Olympus just constantly raking up eliminations at the side.
Honestly, this is XBXB's point to win, right? XOXO have done so much to try to move on to the side, but somehow haven't seemed to be able to convert their way through, as well as Beans already with the flash stand. We'll dive that backline, shutting out Ace. Fish will find Xena, and suddenly it looks like XO are crumbling at the seams here with a slice and dice. Best impression of a sushi chef you've ever seen. As these final members are being picked up, Alexa taking the fight to them, trying to hold things off. Liv Flitz has been a hero, but I'm not sure this might be too little too late, as the overtime, it runs deep, and we are going the distance to point number 3.
Wow, what a game indeed. XBE showing signs of life in this second game. What a match, 1-1 each. The next one will be taking the first match point coming in. But talk to me about what just happened, Multitudes. It seemed like they had no answer for the Wolverine.
Well, yeah, Beans stepped up, right? There's so much playroom they were able to have. Fish had their moments as well, to be fair. And Adeline and Elixir did their best to stay alive, honestly. There were times I was looking at those both Vanguards, they were on a sliver of health, but somehow, you know, those strategists able to keep them alive. Alone Fields found a few things here and there, but was basically less effective. You know, they did try the same strat with the portal plus the instant kind of Iron Man out, but XBE, like you said, fool me twice, shame on me, right? They were ready for it. Ace, I want to point that out on the Hunter, right? I think that ice came from... I think that ice arrow came from Ace as well.
Yeah. I mean... Wow, this is... It is just really hard here at this point, right? You have two flyers at both sides, but the Wolverine is really the main factor that's taking out Sangjaku, that's taking out Zeta at the point, and even just taking out the strategies when needed. So right now, look, Beans just taking it again. Look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. They're not doing anything to stop this Wolverine. The Wolverine is just constantly, and with perfection as well, throws Zeta off the ledge. What aim.
Right down that waterfall, right?
right. It's like, oh my god, why?
So good.
Yeah, it's
so good from the side of XBE. Beans already has that last stand available that could really hold things off. Alone Flitz trying to be a bit of a nuisance here. Will hopefully, find Demise. That's going to be a bit of a stagger coming out from the side of XBE as they regroup with the rest of the team and maybe use this opportunity to be able to work their way on to the side. I have Agamotto counter with the fate of both worlds, but we'll still be able to find Songjung. Ooh, Alone Flitz tries to even things out with a couple of great uni beams of their own. Make that a 3 onto Elixir and Fish, and suddenly XBE are crumbling to pieces. And Beans just will be able to get themselves off the map together with Adeline to prevent any further staggers and any additional ultimate charge points onto XOXO.
It's so entertaining to watch both of them. It's like, you'll never catch me alive.
Bye.
You do not get to kill me. I get to kill myself. That's exactly what he did, eliminating themselves. And right now, they still have a little bit of time to come back to this game. And I just feel like XOXO, they're on the right path. They just have to make sure that Sung Jok-woo managed to get the dive onto the back lines and not constantly being kidnapped by the Wolverine.
Yeah, but I'm worried, right? There's a lot of flank potential coming out from XOXO. You see Alone Flitz being sneaky beaky with it. Oh, with their ultimate, it's going to be distracted by everything else, especially with Songju coming out with Fish. And that's going to be Meteor M with the slam dunk, maybe not finding anything, as the fate of both worlds will be popped, as well as the Sonic Seduction coming out from Xena, but I think there's enough shields to be able to block enough folks. The invisible boundary, now the backline is being contested. We'll find Kale and Demise. Hypervision is traded out by Fish nonetheless, but it's just too many bodies for the side of XBE to have to deal with, especially with divers such as Songju being an absolute hassle.
Yeah, I think they found their winning formula here, right? High vision on Ultron, it's pretty good, but not as good as the Silent Assassin, the Psylocke, right? But right now, with the help of the portal, Adeline will probably be able to get in time onto the battleground just to touch it and get it into overtime. Because right now, they are so close. XOXO is just so close to getting into 99%.
Ooh, almost gets pushed off the map. Has to have Agamotto things to, but the best time to use it. But wants to be able to take the site more into this. The overtime is popped. The own flits just wrecking havoc from the top. Agamotto is popped, but it's too little, too late. As the team wipe comes out, 99% will be converted. XOXO taking this first map for themselves.
Yeah, XOXO showing how the game should be played, showing how it's done. And with that, it's going to be the first match point awarded to XOXO. But what a play, right, Multitudes? The back and forth coming in. XBE not letting out at all.
Yeah, Beans honestly found their rhythm a little bit during that second one, but I felt like by that third, lost a little steam, especially with the way that XOXO were playing. They were playing a lot of like flank. They were leaving and inserting their duelists in a lot of sneaky areas, and that's actually the map for it, right? It's a map that evolves constantly every minute or so. The high ground and those tunnels change, and they were absolutely abused. And XOXO got away with destruction time and time again.
Yeah, getting away the destruction, right? I have
the last few days moving into the playoffs where they're giving like a lone fliss, a high vision. If you know the Ultron isn't banned out, that could be something that XOXO want to abuse and give themselves that leg up.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see Sang Jak-woo pre-highlighting the Spider-Man as well, right? Multitudes. It's as if he's saying, come on, I've already played the Vanguard in game number 1. Let me go crazy in game number 2. And hopefully, XBE, they'll be ready when the Spider-Man pops off, because this map is definitely crazy, right? We've seen Genji struggled on this map against Dopamine. So hopefully, XBE, XOXO, there will be way better prepared to fight in this map.
Yeah, I'm excited for Rako. You know, once again, I said it earlier when this map first came out that it sort of evens the playing field a little bit. It gives XBE perhaps a bit of a fighting chance because yes, XOXO having established themselves previously in the MRC season 1 being 3rd place, but they haven't seen this map professionally, not too much anyways, and hopefully at least XBXB are hoping that this means that they don't have too many strats of their own, once again evening the playing field. And okay, Captain America, very targeted ban coming out.
Yeah, very targeted ban for very good reason as well. They probably knew what Captain America could do in this map, especially in those tight corners. We've seen how Zune was struggling with it as well when he lost his Captain America. But right now, we're seeing our fair share of Logan. We're talking about the Wolverine right here. Alone feels on the Wolverine, Ace on the Black Panther. So, this might be the dive game we'll see.
We'll see. These players like to play with our hearts. All these
Stop
players know
us,
that we're
Adeline.
watching. They know we're watching. They know Twitch chat is watching. They're just playing with our hearts. They're gonna go six stack penny. Before you know it, we're just gonna tear our hairs out. But it's gonna be a Rako. I love this map. I love the way the pros are thinking about this map. A lot of flanks. We saw some crazy multi-kills earlier tonight with Wolverines just raging out through ultimates, through teleports, catching the flank and surprise on their opponents. So wouldn't be surprised to see that again. I think that's going to be key moving into this map, right? Abusing the flanks with those teleports and making sure that high ground is valuably attained.
Yeah, exactly. Abusing the high ground, the terrains is exactly what they should be doing here. But right now, coming into the game, okay, let's see what's going on. Squirrel Girl to start things off. Oh my god, XBE is the one. They're gonna retaliate with their very own Spider-Man. Sang Jak-woo with the Spider-Man as well. And look at this guy, like an assassin behind the walls. He's just waiting to string someone off the ground, maybe try and catch strategies off ground. Even the lone fields, everyone's just hiding behind the terrain.
Yeah, XP is gonna be like, where's everyone at the moment? Okay, finally Spider-Man makes your mark, almost ends up in the ditch, but fortunately manages to, great push from the side of Ace onto Adeline. Both Vanguards now out of commission, and XOXO despite only having one Vanguard of their own, will be the pushback. Kale falls as well. Great shift clicks from this Luna to be able to make mincemeat of the opponents.
Yeah, and that push as well. What a play, right? Invisible Woman is very good, especially in ledges as well. We've seen this before in comps, in casuals, but to actually see it in comps right here in the competitive tournament, it's definitely very, very entertaining to watch. And look at the Spider-Man still trying. He was consistently trying to pull someone off the ledge. He's not giving up. The persistent Spider-Man right there. Again,
he pulls off.
Yes,
Adeline, huge pick off, right? That's a big Vanguard. Couldn't maybe reset a leap either from that perspective. So once again, with a single pick from the side of Sungjuk, we'll be able to clean up shop and a cherry on top. It goes fish as well. So a lot of push happening from this side, and away we go back to the casters. We're gonna try to use our future sight to imagine what's going on. Dig deep. XOXO will get a break somehow. Or rather XBE.
Sungjuk is gonna pull the Hulk into the abyss 3 more times. 3 more times before they pass the point.
Ain't no way. I mean, honestly, that middle section is so important. It's a lot of open space. There's a lot of towering heights over that U-turn, right? And so I feel like the answer for XBE would be have to take the high ground on the right side. Unfortunately, their composition doesn't necessarily line up for it, right? They have like pseudo divers from that perspective, and so pushing the card might seem like their only option if they remain on the heroes that they are.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very complicated terrain to maneuver around, right? And Spider-Man is just very good at wreaking havoc in the battlefield, just pulling people off the ledge, and it's especially effective against these high HP characters, high HP vanguards. For example, Venom. For example, Hulk, right? The moment because it takes so long just to down the Hulk. And then you have the Bruce Banner form, so you might as well just, let's just throw him off a cliff. And that's exactly what happened.
So much value from that perspective, and it's a bit of a high risk, high reward because XOXO, they're actually opting for only a single Vanguard, which is going to be the Emma Frost taking the front. They have 2 duelists, I think 3 strategists, or is it 3-2 the other way? I'll have to go back and check once more, but it's a lot of pressure that they want to pull out, and ultimately will all depend on making sure Emma Frost stays up to take the brunt of everything. And this is where, again, we come back to it, right? That high ground advantage on the right side of XBE might be useful. You send your Vanguards there, you dive that back line, they only have a single Vanguard, they'll have to scramble to try and figure it out, and meanwhile you hit from the front. So that might be the strategy out of this.
Yeah, just melt the front lines, right? Since there's only a single Vanguard. So that can definitely work, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, it's just a very new terrain to work around with, and it adds the element of peekaboo, right? You can never expect where, and with the third party and the system in itself, right? Multitude, it's like the third party viewing. It's like, okay, I'm actually behind the wall, but I can see what's going on behind the wall. That's an advantage, right? Compared to first-person viewing. So
it's ultimately extremely different from like other hero shooters that we've seen, even like FPSs that we've seen, right? Like I feel like the closest thing we have is probably like PUBG that runs that third-person view. Not a lot of FPSs use this, but you gotta abuse it. You see the Wolverine, you see the Spider-Man just hiding out of sight, just waiting for their prey, and no one's been known to it until they make their first shot, and suddenly, oh my gosh, I have to be worried about these people.
Yeah, but I'm grateful for the third-party views, right? Because that way we'll be able to see all the beautiful costumes, right? The costumes. And while we're waiting for it, guys, please let us know what's your most favorite costumes in the chat. We'll read it out. But what about you, Multitudes? What's your favorite costume?
I gotta say,
Which character first?
Luna Snow. So I normally run Luna Snow. I was running Mantis a lot. Hang on, I'm gonna hold that thought, pin that thought real quick as we jump straight back into the action here. Not sure exactly what happened, but regardless, it's gonna be XBE taking the high ground to their advantage. This is what we talked about. Not the same side that I was talking about, but at least Kale will be able to, provide some long distance value here, as Songjin will be immediately dispensed off, and this gives XBE an opening.
Yeah, he's like, how dare you take care of me just now on my Hulk? I'm gonna take you out in response. Ace as well, taking out Demise. Okay, Sung Jung Woo trying to deal damage. He's gonna take out Kale. He's gonna eliminate Lone Fields, however, the Battle of the Wolverines. But now Sung Jung Woo showing what he's made of, showing what he's called the Spider-Man of Asia. And right now, spectacular spin! Taking out. Oh, the fate of both worlds is gonna save them at that time. But the battle is still ensuing. He's just constantly trying to pull people off the ledge. Multitudes.
Yeah, and now, oh my gosh, High Vision immediately taken off once they exited the form of Goddess of Death. And Stunning Seduction will be popped, but Chaos gonna escape that with popping their ult of their own, so it leaves XOXO scrambling just a little bit more as XBE adds a little bit more pressure. The slam dunk comes up, but Fish will finally be able to deal with that frontline Vanguard, and without that single frontline Vanguard, leaves XOXO a little bit more exposed. We see the Luna try to dive in at the tail end. Ace will be dealt with quickly by Elixir.
Wow.
Still being stalled out. 3.5 meters goes Elixir hard. Fish will try to even things out, even the playing field just a little bit, especially with Sung Jung Woo going through the teleport after having taken out Kale. But having stepped off, that's going to be the first checkpoint well within their grasp.
Yeah, it's very hard. Like you already pointed it out, only one Vanguard at the front, and everyone else is basically just divers, flankers. And what this does is it exposes your strategies to harm as well, right? Because no one's going to be able to defend, and it's free reigns. Oh my God, Sung Jung Woo taking out the Fish, and that's going to be it. He knows the terrains inside out, and just coming back in from the bottom, from the top, circling towards the bottom, and now constantly trying to take care of the strategist again. This guy.
This is the value coming in. Fish will be punished time and time again. You have to deal with this. You can't let these players get away with murder, as High Vision will team up with Sung Jung Woo to make mincemeat of XBE. XOXO hold the fort.
Oh my goodness, High Vision as well has the Goddess of Death ready for exposal, but this is a point where they can really defend against. But Kale is going to be using the Punisher. Hopefully by the time he gets the final judgment ready, he'll be able to break through the frontline shields. But now, Beans, spectacular spin at the back lines, forcing out the fate of both worlds, and of course the Soul Resurgence as well. So it's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal indeed. It actually forces out the invisible dimensions as well. Kale's gonna track Sung Jung Woo to perfection. Dance of the butterflies from a lone flip, trying to slice and dice the best of their ability, but doesn't quite catch anyone. Meteor M, the slam dunk onto the high ground will deal damage, but no KOs to say the least. High Vision will be able to, in the sliver, find Demise, sending them to their demise. Unfortunately, in this, actually, okay, Sung Jung Woo back onto this Doctor Strange, adding just a bit more pressure frontline wise. Elixir dancing with death will be taken care of by Loans, who finds a second. Oh my gosh, XOXO are trugging along.
The GOAT Alone's coming in with the sidelock and now taking out. Okay, wait, Punisher.
Ooh, close.
Be really careful. It was so close. If only there was a one headshot, he would have been gone. He would have gone down. But nice attempt. Right now, they are still defending the second point. 35 seconds to go, and that's doing pretty good. Taking out Lone Fields. That's Kale right there, and he knows he has the cover of his teammate. But now Psionic Seduction, last stand. Taking out just one Luna Snow, but it's fine. He says, I like Luna Snow. She's a pretty target. I'm going to take her out anyway. But now they're pushing forward. 15 seconds on the clock. Kale pushing forward as well. XOXO just with one single Vanguard defending, but Sung Jung Woo on the Doctor Strange will be taken out. It's 5v6. 3 seconds. And I think it's going to unlock. They are going to let this fight overtime. And it's gonna take out Elixir. High Vision, beautiful shots onto the head. Fate of both worlds trying to sustain XOXO, but the Eye of Agamotto, wow, he was cancelled by the freeze of Luna Snow.
Absolutely disgusting work, and now the divers are on to it. Sung Wu as well as Alone Flitz doing maximum damage, but Adam and Beans fire back. They're really holding on to this point. They really want to claim this, but it's going to be invisible boundaries that denies any sort of vision. Sung Wu fighting fish, now hella high in the sky, raining down fireballs, and we'll find Beans, we'll find Elixir. Just so much damage from the goddess of hell. Times are ticking, overtimes are running, and that's going to be but a single point going the way.
They did it! Oh my god, the clutch goddess of death by high vision, enabling XOXO to hold the point, not reaching the second part. Multi, that was chaos.
Okay, yeah.
That was
it was
chaos
chaotic.
in one
It was
word.
chaotic. I felt like there was so many adaptations from both teams. You know, XOXO started off with like a lot of pressure, a lot of forward pressure, especially those flankers, but realized that they really couldn't sustain from that perspective, so swapped off and fell back into more of a standard kind of double shield, double vanguard perspective, but still allowing Lone Flitz and Sungjuk free reign around the site to be able to wreak havoc. And to say the least, they tried their best. They at least got their first checkpoint, almost got the second, but we'll see if that's enough.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're seeing, right? They're just going all in. Right, just go crazy, all in. One Vanguard just to hold the lines, but ultimately everyone else is just either healing or they're just flanking like mad. So it worked out for them. They did stop them. Wait, oh, what's
They're
up?
doing it again.
What's going on?
They're doing it again. They're leaving Zeta on a solo Vanguard. Now high vision on the Black Widow. That's different.
It's different for sure. But it's XOXO we're talking about after all. They definitely have something in their sleeves that we might not have seen. But Alone feels, I'm loving this costume. Black Panther, Sung Wu, he's gonna pull the Magneto. Goodbye, sir. But he's gonna pay the price for being cheeky. He's like, no siree. I don't care if you're friendly, but you're going down. And now the Venom is gonna be caught between the rock and the hard place. Gonna be taken out by the Luna Snow, rezzed, and now Beast sending. Who did he send off the ledge? No one died.
I feel like
so.
yeah, no one was sent back to the server, so that's very interesting from that perspective. As now we take back the push of the cart here, we see Beans trying their best to hold back. The teleport's doing absolute damage here. Spots Alone Flitz will have to get the drop on them if that's the case here, as they try and figure out a way back onto this point. XBE fighting with their lives. KO taking to the skies. It's gonna be Sung Wu trying to be an absolute menace backstage, and we'll be able to work onto Beans. That's Wolverine out of action. A critical one to say the least.
Exactly, and now Luna Snow probably gonna be taken out, but it doesn't really matter because right now Rage of Ultron will be employed, but the invisible boundary by Ace to counter the damage being dealt. But oh my god, the dive coming in. Alone Feels has the Eye of Bass ready and available, but Sung Wu very low in health, has to be really careful not to die. But Fish, it's Jeff. Who's he gonna swallow? He's gonna swallow a lot of people apparently, but he's gonna be taken out by Sung Wu. No chance at all to retaliate, and now even Rest is dealing damage on her own right, taking out two people. Ace taking out Elixir as well, and they will be able to push past this first point with a lot of time left.
Yeah, making good time indeed, and they only need to cover another 125 meters to make it. Just shy of the second checkpoint is all they need. And with Alone Flitz and Sung Wu taking so much forward space, being a nuisance in the backline, this is to say the least that they're going to have to deal with a lot. XP is trying to do what they do best, right? Take the high ground. Where are all these shortcuts coming from? I really don't understand. Is right now it's gonna be the dance of the divers trying to figure out how to get these and isolate these fights, and still no cherry on top. Spin to win comes out in the back line. The sustain is enough to keep everyone alive and well as they go in for seconds, but Sung Wu can't find a second, so we'll have to back out there.
Yeah, Sung Wu, the good thing about Spider-Man is, right, you come in, you deal damage. If you get someone off, that's great, but if you don't, you can just fly off. But now Zeta taking out Adeline, High Vision taking out Beast, Sung Wu taking out the Ultron, And right now, they're pushing hard and fast. Only 3 people left. Elixir has the meteor and will be using it. Fate of both worlds is going to be employed by Demise, just trying to hold on to the point. And right now, they are holding the point thanks to this Fate of both worlds. 3 people on the point holding up against 6 people. High Vision is Jeff going to be employed, but the Fate of both worlds is going to negate it. Jeff has no choice. She has to run away.
Oh my gosh.
Right now. Focus fire, the diamond, even everyone. The point is so close, Multitudes.
It is so close indeed. When the dance around the sky, Seongju will find the advantage, giving themselves EXO a bit of more of a lead as the cart continues to chug along ever so close to this dub for the side of XOXO. High Vision trying to apply forward pressure, and EXO's gonna shut that down quick and easy, but not before Alone Fist with some great resets and the dash from Seongju will find their mark. In for more. Spider-Man doing absolute work in this backline, dismantling strategists after duelists after player. Oh, and looks like XOXO are well in control, but still contesting the side goes XBE.
Oh my god, this Spider-Man and Black Panther are just absolutely insane. They are just dealing so much damage onto the back lines, like Elixir, like Fish, like even Beans and Demise and Fall Prey. And now 2.16 meter Spectacular Speed is gonna be employed. He's gonna be able to take out Kale, and that's gonna be it. 2 points going to the side of XOXO. Multitudes 2-0 in favor of XOXO.
2-0 goes the way of XOXO, denying XBE a win from this regard. And it was, they put up a great fight during that domination match, but I felt like, they were just a bit stunted on this Araco. It was their map pick, XBE to say the least, trying to even the playing fields a little bit more. But in the chaos of it all, they tried to play dive against a masterclass diver themselves. That's what we saw today, right? Seongju Woo, coupled with Alone Flits, were just able to pick off players like nobody's business.
Exactly, 20 final hits. This Spider-Man knows exactly what he's doing. He's like the, I don't know if I should say this, I think he's like the Necros of Asia, the closer of Asia, and that's saying a lot because he plays this in a tournament setting. So that's saying something, right? So Seongjak Woo, I don't know, Sung Jin Woo's brother, cousin, whoever it is, that guy's going crazy with Venom, with Spidey. Insane. That was what helped won them that game. 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0. 2-0 indeed.